Russia, Khabarovsk, on the bank of the Amur River, 1999. For hours on end, babushkas aimlessly wait in the streets for an unlikely charity. How many people are there throughout the country who fervently sang the praises of the communist ideology in their young days? How many people are there who, enthusiastic and committed, applied that ideal in faraway countries, from the Chinese border to the mountains of Tajikistan, from the Central Asia steppes to the banks of the Caspian Sea, from the Baltic coast to the Siberian ice desert. The collapse of the Soviet Union and the shifting of those emerging countries towards a market economy fostered a lean, mean, lawless capitalism. How many victims and abandoned people are there with no money, no job, no home, unable to return to their hometown, cast out by the natives of former Soviet provinces now independent. On the Russian bank of the Amur River, I was observing him staggering along, lost and dressed in rags. Through his half-open shirt, I saw the portraits of Marx, Engels, Lenin and Stalin, like symbols of a bygone ideology. I came near him and greeted him. I detected fear in his eyes. I introduced myself and asked his name. With difficulty, as though he were scoring his memory, he pronounced Genadi Vasilyevich and started to weep. I waited for that unfathomable emotion to fade, and then he started to talk. You know, nobody had asked me what my name was in 10 years. Nobody. Ever since the day I was thrown out of the plant I worked in, out of the house I lived in. I have roamed the streets for 10 years. Later, as we spent hours together, I learned that Genadi Vasilyevich had done his military service in the 50s. He had traveled all the way to the Chinese border under Stalin's order. He told me he had his tattoo made at that time. Our paths separated. I still think of Genadi. He did not know what I had learned. Gulag prisoners in Siberia had those 4 faces tattooed on their chest so as to escape the firing squad. Who would have dared shoot at one of the then heroes? With the passing of years, after the collapse of the socialist ideology and the return of a religious sentiment, he had just added one symbol, a cross,